like I sort of live in a female bubble in the sense that like so many of the women I know are strong, powerful women, and so many of the places where I've worked for women. Like to me, it's not surprising that I'm surrounded by successful women because women are awesome and and it's just sort of a normal thing to me. Being a woman in CrossFit feels great. I feel strong, I feel confident, I feel like I surprise myself almost daily with the things that I've been able to learn to do there. Everybody starts out kind of not knowing what's going on and not knowing the movements and not knowing how much weight you can push around, and then you just get into it and you start doing more and more and more, and every day you're hitting PRs and doing amazing things and your teammates are high-fiving you. They have a very diverse membership. A lot of women go there and everybody there is super welcoming. Even the super like gigantic bro type guys are very down to earth and welcoming, and they want everybody to come and be part of it. But you get so much more than just a regular gym experience. You get a whole community. It's basically like you have a trainer who really cares about what you're doing. They want to make sure that you're enjoying your workouts. They want to make sure that you're doing them correctly with good form, but that you're getting healthy and you have a whole community of people to do it with. So as a female CrossFitter, it feels empowering. My name is Kamber Sherrod. I am the cake designer and sugar artist at Sticky Fingers Sweets and Eats in Washington, D.C. I am from a tiny town in the Texas Panhandle called Dumas. My mom was a cake decorator and she decorated cakes out of our house when we were kids. So I grew up around it, eating cake, looking at cake, frosting, all of it. My parents got divorced when I was about 5. My mom was such a hard worker. She worked her butt off to provide for her 3 children. She is an inspiration to me in so many ways. I love my mother, and she taught me a lot about dedication and love and just being there for your family. I definitely did have a strong female role model in her because she basically sacrificed so much of herself for her kids. She took whatever job she could possibly get or find just so we could have what we needed. I mean, I think a lot of people would look at it and say, oh, how sad, you come from a broken home or whatever, but I never felt that way. I never had resentment towards either of my parents for any of it. It's just part of who I am. My journey to cake decorating was sort of an accident. I went to school at the University of Texas in Austin, and I started out as an advertising major, and after a semester realized that was definitely not for me. So I switched over to psychology and really got interested in gender and racial stereotypes and where they come from and why we have them and how they affect our daily lives and how we interact with other people, and really wanted to pursue that as a career. So after I graduated UT, I started a PhD program at Penn State, and it just wasn't a good fit. I kind of got discouraged my first year. I really wanted to do work that the public could get their hands on and use, because doing research for the sake of research just wasn't appealing to me. And other professors at the university there were very discouraging. They told me that that's not what I should be focused on, that I should be focused on grant writing and bringing in money to the university. And so I left after about a year. So when I moved to DC, I didn't have any real reason to come here other than I knew a few people and I wanted to try something different. I didn't have any reason to go back to Texas and didn't have a job, didn't really know what I was doing, sort of stumbling along. Doran Peterson is the owner of Sticky Fingers Sweets and Eats, which is DC's first and only all-vegan bakery cafe. Doran gave me a job working 1 day a week as the front counter person, and then that turned into a couple days a week, and I had a little bit of experience decorating cakes before, so I was just doing a few for orders and for the storefront. And I started getting really interested in it because it was fun, and cake is my favorite food, and so I started asking to do more and more and more, and finally one day was like, well, what do you want to try to do a wedding cake? Sure, I'll try to do a wedding cake. Let's see how it goes. And it went really well. It was scary, and it was stressful. I I decided to do a Wonder Woman cake because I wanted to support the Women's March, just to sort of embody this sense of unity among all women in this country. I think we're all sort of dealing with a lot right now. And I think it's really important that we all stick together and support each other. So I really wanted to make a cake that would kind of honor that idea. Wonder Woman is one of the very few female superheroes that we have, especially mainstream superheroes. So she's very recognizable. I wanted people to look at it and immediately know what it was. So, you know, you've got her classic uniform, colors and prints, the lasso that she uses. She's super powerful Amazon, and I just want other women to feel like that. So I've never thought of myself as brave when it comes to life choices. I just do what I feel is best for me. I just feel very strongly about taking what life gives you and doing the best you can with it. You can't always control everything, even though I try to. I'm very controlling, but sometimes life just happens and you just kind of have to roll with it and figure it out as you go. And I think because I was raised by a single mom for a long time, I learned how to be independent early on, and that really helped me later in life to figure out who I am and where I'm going and what I want. I think basically my whole life has been a lesson in mistakes or failures are not the end, they're the beginning of something else. So leaving school did not mean I failed at that. It meant that it just wasn't a good fit for me and I was just meant for something else. It was just another step in a journey. And I really think that that's a really important lesson, especially for young women to learn, that failure is a good thing. I encourage people to fail all the time because it means you get to learn and grow. And I've definitely learned a lot of lessons through mistakes making cakes. But you learn from those things and you get better and better, and you just, every single time I make a cake, it's better than the one before.